people, what's happening? You tuned into the mixtape right now with your girl Amy. You know it's the only place to be on a Thursday night, so you don't want to be moving anywhere for the next 30 minutes. Now, on this week's show, you know what, I'm so excited to be sitting next to this lady. It's Kele Le Roc.
Hi.
Welcome to the mixtape.
Huh?
Welcome to the mixtape.
Thank you.
How you doing?
I'm doing good. I'm doing really,
I
really
have
good.
to say, you're looking lovely, really
Thank
summery.
you. Do you know what? It's the weather. When you get beautiful weather like this, you've got to bring out the stops, you know.
You know what? The sun always makes people happy.
It does make people happy, and you've got to take advantage because you don't know how long it's going to last here, do you? So.
I have to say one thing, yeah. Every time I call her up, her voicemail just makes me smile. So this is Kelly's voicemail. She goes, "Hello, everybody. Word of the week this week is togetherness."
Yeah.
I love it, and she gives you like a little story on the word of the week. It's amazing.
Some people like it. Some people are like, "You're rinsing out all my money," but
No, I mean, it's kind of cool. It makes you smile.
it's an answer machine. Use it to do something positive, so that's what I try and do.
Now, everyone knows about Kele Le Roc on the UK scene, even internationally. But how did you kind of start out in music?
I started singing and dancing when I was 3 years old, and at the time I don't think I really was thinking, oh, I want to be a singer. I just really loved kind of musical theatre, and I wanted to do like Broadway shows, that sort of thing.
Do you come from kind of like a musical family though as well?
My dad's quite musical. My mum is a clothes designer actually, but yeah, my dad's quite musical. And then when I was 12, I had an operation on my knee, and the doctor said I'd always have problems with that. So I thought, okay, that's cool. I'll concentrate a little bit more into my singing. So then I started writing, going to studio, and just working with as many different people as I could really to kind of, practice my craft and get in the studio. I just wanted to get into studio. So I sung so many different types of songs just so I could get studio time and work on that.
Did you know it's something you always wanted to do, or?
I just enjoyed doing it. And a few people said, you've got a good voice, And I was like, really? Okay. But I never really penetrated it, and then I think it was more from the love of singing. Like I really enjoyed it, and I really loved singing, and I had quite a loud mouth as well. So I was like, maybe I'll give it a go.
So were you the loud girl in class then?
I was the loud girl. I remember my music teacher, Mrs. Ralph, used to be like, tone it down a bit, because I used to sing so loud above everyone else. You couldn't hear no one else.
So what do your friends think about you being in music and stuff?
They love it actually, and to be honest, I grew up in East London. And a lot of people that I grew up with went on to do other things, like they're like DJs and models and stuff like that. So I think I came from an era where people were really kind of like, I want to do this or I want to be this, and they kind of achieved it. So it's nice to have a set of friends that are doing well, and you grew up with them as well. That's a beautiful thing.
The reason I asked that question is because you got noticed for your music and your singing when you were quite young, didn't you?
Yeah.
And then you kind of went over to America.
I did. I mean, the first time I got signed, I was 16, and I got signed by Sony in Chicago. That didn't work out. Then I got signed again when I was 19 by First Avenue. I got licensed onto Polydor Records, and then I went out to LA. In fact, first of all, I went to Arizona for about 3 weeks, and then they sent me out to LA for like 3.5 months, and I lived there.
No, but for that to happen, like when you're 16 to 19, that's kind of an exciting time.
Do you know what? It was really exciting, but I don't know, there was a part of me that's like, this is what it's supposed to be like. So even though I'm thinking, wow, this is amazing, I'm equally thinking, but this is my life, like this is how it's supposed to run. So there was a part of me that was like, this is just the norm, this is what happens. But now obviously I'm not that kind of fortunate to be signed by a major label and being flown over here, flown over there. I realised I was really blessed,
But being over in America and now obviously singing over here, how are the scenes different?
Out there though, I was predominantly kind of recording, even though I was out and about, and for some reason as well, I just used to meet people everywhere. Like I met Busta Rhymes, I met Bruce Willis, I met Rick James, I met Hype Williams.
That's heavy, you know what?
I just used saying that.
Like, you know what? I just met Busta Rhymes, and people just be like, what?
I went to his video shoot and everything. Out there, they're just everywhere, and I think maybe because they're in their own habitat, they're a little bit more chilled. So you can say, "Oh hi," and then when they hear your English, like, "Oh, you're from England," and then you get into a conversation, and they're like, "Come to my video shoot," and you're like, "Okay," and you just go, and it's just,
I'm there.
I know, but here it wouldn't go like that.
Yeah, of course.
Like, step away. But do you know
we all
what
got
I mean?
a front. That's what it is.
But yeah, it was kind of like that, and it was really like an eye-opener in that respect, because I met so many wonderful people. And what I really kick myself about now though is I never really told them I was a singer, because in LA it's so cheesy. It's like, I'm a singer, I'm an actress, I'm a model, and I was just like, oh, I'm from England. I know, I met Missy Elliott.
But you kind of learn, don't you, as your experience teaches you.
Well, to be fair, I learned the hard way, because now me and Missy Elliott could be best friends.
could have been.
We could have been. We stayed in the same hotel. We were chilling by the pool. We was having a conversation. She was like, your accent's really cute. We could have been.
Damn, I should have taken up that opportunity.
I know. I should have said, Missy, guess what? I'm a singer. Do you want to hear me sing? Let me come and do something with you. And to be honest, how she's kind of cool like that, it would have run like that. She would have been like, come in my studio.
Yeah, she does seem pretty cool.
Yes.
So obviously being signed and now you're independent.
Yeah.
What's the difference?
There's huge
as
differences.
An artist.
As an artist, creatively, I get to do what I want, which I love. I have full artistic license, and I think when I was signed to my label, silly things like even how I used to do my hair and dress, everything they were really controlling, and it used to really kind of dampen my creativity, because I always felt like I was given a box and told to stay in that box.
And that's really difficult as an artist, because you want to be able to explore different avenues for yourself.
Exactly, you want to be creative. And like I said, my mum's a clothes designer, so I used to make my own clothes, design my own clothes, and I wasn't allowed to explore that side of myself. But then, you know, when I look back now as well, I was, you know, around at a time just before people got really trendy. Do you know what I mean? Like, if Lady Gaga came out then there might have been an issue about that. Now she's like uber stylish and uber trendy.
No, but it's like now everyone wants to be like Lady Gaga.
Exactly.
But it's kind of like it works for her, but it doesn't really work for everyone else.
Well, that is what it's like out here. I find that if something works, they try and mimic it instead of trying to be the next new thing. And that's one thing I've always hated about the UK music market here, is that they're really scared to take chances, because if they don't know how to market it because they've seen it done before, tried and tested, they're like, well, we don't know what to do with that. I don't think there's a market for that. There's a market for everything. I think if a song is good enough, and I think if it's marketed to the extent where that song gets out and people hear it on a constant basis, they're going to buy it.
And if you have enough confidence in it, that's what counts, when you believe in yourself.
Exactly.
So what do you think of the UK scene right now?
I'm loving right now how DIY has kind of come to fruition. A lot of people have come through AKA and YouTube, even just doing their own thing, and so now they're allowed to do the music they want to do, even though, you know, they're commercial. So I think that's really cool.
Because there's a lot of American artists that are taking notice of our scene.
Yeah,
right now.
I love that. And
it's about time.
It is about time, but more so than that, I think it's kind of sad that they had to acknowledge us. I think that we should have acknowledged our own talent far a long time ago, for them to come say, oh, that person's really talented, and, you know, like, for example, Estelle, take her back to America and bring her back and she's #1. You had her hair you had her hair the whole time, and you couldn't see that she had talent, and you could have worked that talent. What are you gonna do?
But there's a lot of people doing their thing in America right now. Jay Sean's out there, and he's kind of, you know, really representing for the UK.
He is.
So who do you think on the UK scene would you say here in London are doing, or in the UK completely, are doing their thing?
Who's doing their thing? Well, the obvious people like N-Dubs, Chipmunk, Tinchy, you know.
Do you think they're creative though with their music?
I think that N-Dubs, they were doing their own thing from a long time ago, and they created their whole little sound. I think the fact that it's become commercial and popular, it has kind of taken away the credibility of it, and their last album sound very similar to the album they had before. But, you know, I think with regards to what they're doing, at the time it was unique. All right, maybe back in the day they had 2 girls and a guy, but I like their songs. I think they're really catchy. I think they're all very marketable. You know, Dappy's like a little cute elf. He's
really sweet,
but he is really cute. Talisa's beautiful, and then FaZe is like the rapper dude. They work, man. They work.
Okay, on that note, we're going to take a break. So we'll see you on the other side.